Today we are going to learn how to crochet these two little ghosts. We are going to use the white yarn, the black yarn, and the purple yarn, and this orange yarn. First, wrap the wire around your pinky. Put it on the index finger, form another loop on the middle finger. Pinch the ring with your thumb and middle finger. The crochet hook goes through the loop and brings out the thread. Wrap the thread again from above to bring the thread out of the loop on the crochet hook. This is a CH chain stitch. Note that the CH is not used as a stitch. We are going to hook 6 SC single crochet in the first round. How to hook a SC? Crochet hook through the loop to bring out the thread. Wrap the thread from the top again, directly over the 2 loops on the crochet hook. This is ASC. We are going to hook 6 SC in the first circle. After we've hooked up the 6 SCs, let's take the coils off. Pull on this short one. Pull it tight. Then find the position of the first stitch. Bring out the thread, bringing out another loop directly on the crochet hook. And now we're done with the first loop. And then we hook ACH. Inside each stitch of the second loop, hook an ink increase. That's 2 SCs in 1 stitch. Let's hook 6 groups. 1 SC, 2 SC, 1 SC, 2 SC. Give him 6 sets of hooks like this. The total number of stitches after this round is 12. Let's finish the last set of stitches. Find the position of the first stitch. SSSL straight ship stitch. And then give it a snip on the back of the threads. ACH. Next, we'll start hooking the third loop. The pattern for the third loop is 1 SC, 1 ink for group. That's 6 sets of hooks. The total number of stitches after this round is 18. We will enter the first stitch and hook a SC. In the second stitch, hook an ink. That's 3 pins in a row. 1 SC, an ink. Finish him off with 6 sets. After you've hooked up the 6 sets, we find the position of the first stitch. And then we hook H. We are going to hook a 4th loop. The 4th and 5th loops are inside each stitch. Hook a SC without adding or subtracting. 1 loop is 18 stitches. Give it a ship stitch after each loop. And then hook H, and start hooking the next H. Let's get him to the 5th loop. Crochet the last stitch of the 5th loop. We find the position of the first ship stitch. Next, we'll start the 6th loop. Let's start with H. The pattern for the 6th loop is 1 SC, 1 ink, 1 SC for 1 group. To hook 6 groups, The total number of stitches after this round is 24, where hook A is C in the first stitch. In the second stitch, we'll hook an ink. That's 2 is C. Hook A is C in the third stitch. This makes a group of 4 stitches. 1 is C, 1 ink. 1 is C. Let's finish him off with the 6th pack. After the 6th set, we find the position of the first sheep stitch. And then we hook ACH. Next, circle 7 through 9. It's all about the 24 SCs. Finish him off. Go to lap 9. After the 9th loop, we find the position of the first sheep stitch. Hook ACH. For the 10th round, we are inside each stitch. Hook an ink. 24 hooks in all. That's 2 is C in each stitch. After the last group, let's just disconnect. And then we pull the line over. Find the position of the first stitch. Bring the thread. And then pick the last stitch of this blow. And then bring the yarn head over. Give him a tweak. And then V. Hide the yarn head. Then cut the yarn head. And now we have the main body knitted. Next we'll knit the hand. The same magic ring. Hook for SC. After the 4 SCs are hooked, take the coil off. Find the position of the first stitch. Sheep stitch. And then the first to the third circles are all 4 SC ticks. After you've done that, we find the position of the first stitch. Sheep stitch. Adjust the knitting by yourself, because the 4 S's are smaller. We can cut him off at this point. Hook ACH. Then hook a third loop. Same for SC. Hook ACH, and then leave a section of yarn for sewing later. Same hand, let's hook him up with another one. Next, we'll stitch the arm to the top of the body. It's about here. After sewing, and then we put it inside to hide the threads. And then we cut the threads. Same thing on the other side. This is what the arm looks like when it's sewn up. Next, we are going to sew up the eyes. And we are going to take this black thread and we are going to tie it in a knot, and then we go through the needle. And then put the needle on top of this fabric. It's this hole right here. Give it 4 wraps of wire. And then we just pull the pin. And then find this stitch, the one that comes in from here. And out of here. Adjust it. This is an eye. And then we are going to continue to enter the needle in the next position. It's still the same. Give him 4 rounds. After 4 complete revolutions, let's pull the pin for him. And then in this same spot, and then hide the yarn head a little bit for him. Break the thread. And so a little ghost is woven. Next we'll crochet this witch's hat. Magic ring. First hook for SC single crochet. After the 4 SCs are hooked up, let's tighten the coil. We find the position of the first stitch. Then hook a CH chain stitch. Start hooking the second loop. The pattern for the second loop is ASC, 1 ink for group. Give it 2 hooks. There's already 1 SC hooked here. Second stitch, give it an ink increase. Third stitch is still ASC. Fourth stitch is still an ink. After the 2 groups are hooked up, we find the position of the first stitch. And then we hook ACH. This is when you cut the thread. The third loop will ASC, an ink, 1 SC for group. Hook 2 groups, 1 SC first, and then an ink. One more SC. 1 group, SC. Ink. ASC. Then find the position of the first stitch SS, SL, straight ship stitch, hook ACH. Next we'll start the fourth loop. The fourth loop is 3 SC, 1 ink for a group of 2 hooks. 1 SC, 2 SC, 3 SC, 1 more ink, 1 group. Ship stitch, hook a CH, then hook the fifth loop. We'll hook 2 SC, 1 ink, 2 SCs for 1 group, 2 hooks. First 2 SCs. Take 1 more ink. 2 more SCs. This looks like a set of 2 groups. When we're done, we'll give him the ship stitch. And then we hook ACH. On the 6th loop, we'll give him 5 SCs, 1 ink for 1 group, 2 groups. 3 SC, 5 SC, 1 ink, 1 ink. Find the position of the first stitch after hooking. Ship stitch. Then we knit the 7th loop. Hook an FV in each stitch. Hook 3 teeth first. Then wind the thread through the stitch. Hook the thread out of the loop. Bring the wire through the first 2 coils first. Wind the wire again to bring out the last 2 coils. This looks like a DC double crochet. Another DC in the same stitch. 2. Here's a set. 1. 2. That's 2 sets. Three groups. Tick off the last set. Let's break the line. That's 28 stitches after this round. Then bring the thread straight out. Find the position of the first stitch. Hook the thread through the first stitch. And then adjust this last stitch at this position. Inside this half, take the yarn straight through. and then we'll hide the head of the yarn for it. Next, we'll take out the purple yarn and crochet the lace of the hat. Find this position on this sheep stitch. Then bring the line from back to front. Then enter the needle at the next stitch. Press the thread a little. It's just a sheep stitch. It's like this. Give him a little bit of pressure on the thread with each stitch. After pressing a few stitches, we can release the threads at the back. We'll just cut it for him later, and then we'll continue down the sheep stitch. After the sheep stitch, we are disconnected. And then we'll bring the yarn straight from the previous stitch. Then pick the next stitch. Halfway, bring the yarn. And then we'll bring him straight to the back. Back first, we are gonna cut off that yarn head in the front. And then take this new yarn head for him to hide. Cut the yarn head off again. This is how it looks, And we have a wizard's hat. Next, let's assemble this little ghost. And then give him some blush. And that way we're knitted. Next, we learn the second little ghost. How to crochet a small white hat. Magic ring crochet for SC first single crochet. Tighten the loop after hooking for SC. Find the first stitch SSSL straight ship stitch. Then we hook a CH chain stitch. This is the first loop. Second lap, we hook an inch increase in each stitch. Give him 4 sets of hooks. After you've hooked up 4 sets, we find the position of the first stitch. Ship stitch. And then we'll cut the head of the yarn off first. Hook ACH. On the third loop we hook ASC. After the first round of SC, we find the position of the first ship stitch. And then hook ACH. And then in the next circle we hook 8 ink. We'll disconnect after we've hooked up the 8 inks. And then we hide the yarn for him. And now we have a little hat. Next, we'll start sewing. And here's the eye part of the little hat. We are going to center it right here in the penultimate row. Get him the line. And hide the thread. Disconnect the thread. That'll do it. Next, we'll start hooking up the little orange in the little ghost's hand. Magic ring 6SC. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. After hooking up 6SC, tensioning coils. Then pull the wire out. It's this last level here. Give him the green wire. Then find the position of the first stitch. Press the threads together. Ship stitch. And then 3 chains in the hook. Disconnect him. You can also cut the wire here. Now you have a little orange. Then we'll assemble the little ghost. Let's glue the hat on. After we've glued the hat on, let's put this little orange on his hand. Straight through the hand. Let's tie him in a knot. As long as we can hold it on. Next, we are going to sew up this orange section. So we can break the thread. and then a little blush. And now we have a little ghost.